Hi guys, in this week's episode of Taylor Talks Trades, we are with Fraser Hoehle. He's taken us on his journey from being in the plumbing and heating industry to then building a huge social media following and how he's now using that to leverage his personal brand. I hope you enjoy. Hi Fraser.
Hello.
Welcome to Taylor Talks Trades. Start where I always start, mate. How did you get into the trade?
So when I was 14, my dad's a carpet fitter.
Right.
And like my dream was to be a carpet fitter. Do you know what I mean? I'd still go and date to this day. Started off at 14, worked weekends, and then he wouldn't take me on.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I'm not good enough. And then I ended up working in a carpet shop, just cutting the carpet, stocking it off for all the fitters. And then they basically said I was the best thing that ever happened to the shop. And then I got paid half a week later. So that was great. So
How's
I ended
that
up
come about?
basically the company, they were a big, massive national company.
Yep.
And they've started going downhill.
Just
Sales, stuff were getting harder for them. And I was the first person to go because I was last in the door.
Yep.
And the last in the office was like, oh, kid, do you know what I mean? The weight you pull in here's just
struggle
different
with it,
gravy.
you
We're
kinda
going to
think,
struggle a bit. So I left there and I ended up going and working in a book. So basically what you've done is you scanned books.
Yep.
They're a recycling centre, but like they started selling books, so they'd get books for free and
I know what you're talking about.
sell them online.
Yeah.
I'll not name the place just in case any discrepancies comes about. They're back selling charity books or something. I'm not too sure. And basically, I got offered a plumbing apprenticeship 4 times, and I turned it down every single time. I was like, I'm not playing with shit. Like that's no for me. And then they were like, no, that's no the kind of stuff we deal with. What was my first job? Rodding a big, I called it a jobby hole there. And just basically started off for there and done my time. But to be honest, I hated every single day.
Really?
What I done.
What age was this then? So 14 you were...
I was just doing carpet
fitting. You still at school then?
I was still at school.
And then you left school. What did you do when you left school? You went to the...
So I went and worked in the carpet place.
Aye.
And then I got paid off there.
The legit bookstore.
At the legit bookstore, aye. And then ended up working for the plumbing firm that I worked for, but I hated it. I absolutely couldn't wait to... I was applying for the army, just about every 3 weeks, I was applying for a different... Or I was thinking about applying
What did you not like about it? Was it because it was just...
I wasn't treated very well.
Right,
it was a case of you weren't really shown stuff or portraying that. I think that shaped me into where I've done with my training for guys now, but I wasn't really treated. And I was like, if I had... So I ended up one point, this is where health and safety wasn't really that big a deal back then. Up a ladder with a SDS gun trying to drill through for a condensate, but the chuck wasn't secure. So it was like falling out, and and the boy wouldn't come and foot the ladder for me.
Oh man.
And I nearly fell off it 3 times. And then I went, I'm not doing no more. Like that, I'm drawing the line at this. And then I got left in the workshop for 2 weeks to clean up.
Because you said, I'm not going to do that.
And the only thing that would have cleaned that workshop was a grenade. Honestly, it was the messiest thing. It's like, the company had been going since 1949, and it's probably got artefacts for then. They're not a company anymore, but that's where I ended up. And then I left them and worked for a new build company doing new build plumbing.
Right.
Now, I was fortunate enough to work alongside a mate that I went to college with, but I noticed the level difference there. I was here, he was up here.
Yeah, because he'd been shown what to do and stuff like that.
To be fair, with the new builds, I see it more as like a fitter's job.
Yeah.
There's no really much skill in it. It took me a while to grasp getting into it, but it was more of...
Once you know it, it's kind of repetitive in a way, isn't it? It's not so much fault finding and all that kind of stuff.
No, it's just kind of...
Turn up, do that, the next one.
You know how long it would take, There was, and I'd done the roughings. There was no doors, windies, so when it came to winter time, it was horrendous. But I was fortunate enough to work alongside a mate that made it kind of a wee bit more enjoyable. But he was like far superior to a level that I was, even rapid. And then something happened within their family. They lost a member, and basically they paid 20 guys off.
Oh wow!
Shock horror. Fraser Hoehle strikes again.
Oh, no.
Paid off again.
No way, man.
But I ended up leaving there, and I tried to set up myself. I created a company called Frostat Plumbing and Heating.
Right.
Just thinking, I went and done like one shower room, and then I was like, I hadn't worked for 4 days. I was like, oh, this is absolutely horrible. And then a guy that I've give every bit of credit that I've got the now, his name's Duncan Sharp. He's actually the president of SnipF.
Right.
He had a company called Grange. I don't know if he's still got it, but I actually met him last week at Installer Show. He basically took the time and patience to properly train me.
Brilliant.
Even when I didn't know what I was really doing, I could comfortably go to him, Duncan, kind of struggling here. And he'd go, right, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
And he took me from there up to there. And then I started...
All you needed was somebody to actually show you, that's it. Treat you with a bit of respect.
See something, that is exactly it. And it got to the point where I loved working for him. I would do anything for him.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I was driving for, the wages weren't fantastic. But
you never are, eh? So
I know. The problem is you are actually never happy with your wage.
Everybody's the same.
And I was doing long haul, 8-hour drives, driving up for 4 hours, doing a job and then driving back down, and really should be kind of paid in some time frame. But and then, so he was a guy that was relaxed on that. So it was basically, if you finish early, you go home. But if you go and do overtime, then you didn't get really paid for it.
It's because it's almost like swings and roundabouts a wee bit.
And I remember it must have been maybe a couple of months, it was getting balls to the wall. And I was like, right, I'm going to go say something. What, Duncan, look, I've done loads of overtime, can I get paid for it? And he went, aye, no problem. I was like, all right, brilliant. And then he went, but see, every time you finish early, you're not getting paid for it. I was like, never mind, mate. And then I went, and he goes, because it'll always benefit you. Because there was times we done the MVHR contract, and I was going and repairing units. Now, he would make, I don't know what to talk about his money, but I reckon it was good money that he was making off it. And I could do 5 and finish at 1 o'clock.
Right. So that was a win-win.
And then he would just go, away you go, you've made my money. I respected that. He goes, you've made my money, you've made your money, away home you go.
That's a good way.
And I loved that. It was brilliant.
It is. And I think a lot of people take that for granted, because it's like, they'll put in their overtime, then it's like, did you know finish early last Friday? And it's like, I forgot about that. I bet
conveniently.
You conveniently forgot. But I've been on kind of both sides of the fence, and I've seen it all. So it's like, I get it. You always just think in that moment, you're like, no, I've done them extra hours. You do quite quickly forget them early finishes. But no, that's a good point. So moving on from there, what was after that? So you'd ventured out on your own with that kind of thing, and then what went for there? So you got under the guidance of the SnipF guy, Duncan.
And then I turned down a job to go work for a company, and then I ended up accepting it maybe 6 months later.
Right.
Because something I don't know, things started changing a wee bit, and then he started going, look, I can't give you the van home. Now I had a 40-minute drive to him, and I was like, look, Ken, for what I'm getting paid, it's not really worth it for me, and I'm going to need to move on. And I'm guessing he respected that and was like, right, okay. And then I started doing heat pumps. I did kind of lie my way into it a wee bit, and says that I could do them when I couldn't really. I'd maybe done half one. And I kind of fobbed my... Well, I'd done a wee bit, and then his laddie came in and finished it off, so I took the credit a wee bit.
I've done one.
So I kind of says that I could do them, and I was all right, okay, and then I got taken to one with his main guy to go and fit one. I was like, oh, brilliant. So I just it's a couple of extra heating pipes, so I just started doing a wee bit, and then I started going, but so what would you do differently here than what I would do? I'd put the heat meter here, and this is why I put the SB valve here and that. I was like, no worries, mate. And I put it, basically I asked him questions in order to just fit it correctly. And he was like, oh, that's okay. Done no bad, mate. Well done for your first one. So I'm well versed in the heat pumps, me.
It's good just not letting the ego get in the way a wee bit there as well, because you could have been like, no, I can do it, like, out the way, and it's like, sometimes you've just got to literally kind of be upfront a bit, and although you didn't totally go, I can't do it, but you've found a unique way of going, let's see how you would do it, and how does this company want it done, and that's the thing as well, when people move from company to company and go into different things, there's always, everybody does things differently, so it's not like, and like you'll know yourself, it's like, I've seen some of your videos online, and you're maybe saying, this is how I do this. And you always say, that's how I do it. If you didn't want to do it that way, you do it how you want to do it. But this is what I find works really well, because everybody's got their own way. And I think in the construction industry, too many egos are just like my way is like the only way, and it's like, it's no though.
No,
it's no,
I'm
because
always
other
open.
people got faster ways that works for them. Your way maybe does work the quickest for you, but it's just, it's having
I reached out to like an Instagram plumber who's trying really hard to grow his following stuff.
Yeah.
And he was fitting a towel rail. And it's not that hard, right? But they can be really awkward, they're really fidgety and awkward sometimes. And I says, look, mate, you should try it this way. No, my way's perfectly fine. All right, okay, mate.
Aye, that's it. But you've just got to be willing to kind of just take it on board and even think about it. I think it's one of them when you, as soon as you just think you know it all, that's
it.
And you've probably got a good knack for learning because you had the lack of learning in the early days. So then when somebody takes the chance to show you something, it's probably, you probably receive it quite well. So no, that's good. So you took the new job on and then...
So, and then I ended up fitting, I'm not saying I was their main fitter because there was a guy above me, but I ended up fitting like, there was these heat pumps called heliotherms.
Right.
And they were meant to be the Rolls Royce, but they were German, I reckon they were.
Right.
But for the guys to show us what they did, they had to fly her for Germany. And then we were doing £1 million flats and Goga. And I got made to fit them. Like, I was the first person to really fit the one there, and I was like,
how many did you done by that point?
Like, 3? I'm like, what's going on with this system? And that is like, you need to speak to these, and you've got diagrams, but they're in German. Wow. So you're like, oh, come on. So I kind of made some adaptations in them to make them run better and stuff like that. And it kind of took me to the next level, I reckon, because by then, I then started watching guys on YouTube and stuff like Alan Hart, and there was a guy called Unequaled Heating who has got the nicest pipework you'll ever see. He does he's in London, he does the fanciest stuff ever, and it was amazing. It just again, I was like, I'm going out tomorrow and I'm doing it like that. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of drove me to.
Aye, that's good. It's good taking that inspiration for other people who's actually doing a good job. Like it's rather than reinventing the wheel, and you've put your own spin on it as well. What happened then? So where did you move from there?
So that's when I then went out and started.
On your own?
Well,
no.
I briefly worked for a maintenance company. Right. I told them to go shove it, right? Just, they were dictators, they were arseholes, right? And I just told them in a meeting, like, I threw the keys at him and went, mate, fuck you, you are a grade A arsehole. And he was just like, okay. And then I just left and I started myself the next day and kind of never really looked back on it.
Aye.
And then I was like, I got to the point where I was working for myself, and kind of way where you first start business, everything just seems to go right for you. You're flying, you've got all the customers coming, and then what happens is you get to the point you were that busy, you're missing messages, and sometimes it can be your regular customers as well. Yep. And then like a week later, oh mate, I'm actually so sorry, I never clocked the message. Yep. Sorry mate, I've got somebody else. And one thing I learned for that is it does go to show sometimes that customers are know your friends. Although they want to be your friends and you feel that you are friends with them, ultimately they're know your friends. They are basically a business acquisition. Yep. Because I've been quoted with that before. People, I've serviced this guy's boiler for like 40 quid for like 5 years. And then he went and got it changed by somebody else and never even offered me to put a price in. So I was like, right, and this is where I'm drawing the line with. Aye,
no, it makes sense. And then, so what lessons did you learn in there that like you're kind of using maybe now then? Like, have you done, like, did you
just try and kind of preach what you kind of put out there. Practice because you tell people, oh, you need to get back to people, and then you're missing messages. How does that? So that works like that. And like now, like you learn stuff every day. Because I kind of just went through a phase where like social media is my main thing, and I was just solely focused on that. And then like a month ago, which has changed my perspective, and every decision that's important that I'm making now is based off this one thing that I seen. And it was basically somebody goes to another person, just like we're sitting now. If I went to you, here's £30 million, how would you feel? Would you take it? Would you be air the moon? You would,
Probably.
But if I gave you £30 million, but you didn't wake up tomorrow, would you still want it?
No.
So your breath is worth more than £30 million. And every decision I make is based on where I'm, like, it changed my business outlook. I thought I was just going to be a plumber, but I put myself further out there about property, and I've got investors coming to me. And then we started the directory, try to help tradesmen. Do you know what I mean? It's just taken enough. a whole kind of look on business, and I'm just trying to implement that every day now.
So how did the social media start? How did that begin?
So I kind of started like going off the back of me saying like I was missing the customers and stuff. I actually felt like I was I've never admitted to having like really mental health problems, but you didn't really know you've got it until you maybe sit and
until you look back on it sometimes as well and go,
exactly,
I definitely did have it.
That's maybe what happened. And I started hating it a bit. I was like, okay, and how do I do something? And I was like, right, Kim, what I'm going to do? I'm going to start videoing everything I do, and I'm going to show the customers and engineers, plumbers, how I do stuff. And it'll maybe help me progress because I can learn from it. But what it ultimately shows is customers that stuff's getting done properly. And that's a peace of mind. And that ended up getting me work. So I basically done nearly 200 grand worth of bathrooms in the space of 2 years through TikTok.
And people just seen it and then gone.
Which is mad because people laughed at me. You know, what you doing? And I don't know if I'm not saying I have right, but I could maybe have paved the way to how tradesmen and people start actually portraying social media. Because guys, it wasn't really that much of a big thing, especially TikTok and doing live videos of what you're up to and stuff like that. And now if you look at it now, there's loads of guys going, "Hi guys, look at me, this is the project." And
it's massive, it definitely is massive. And so the following itself then, I quite like the fact that you've done your plumbing stuff, but then like I've seen you doing like food reviews and then like the football games and stuff like that. That's quite good as well, I think. I think there'll be a bit of a divide on that because there'll be people like, but you're a plumbing guy, so why are you showing that? But then there'll be people that's like, well, they just get to see everything about you. And I think if you're willing to put that all out there, then it probably allows the sort of end user or the homeowner, the customer, client, whoever it is, to at least be like, they can make a decision on you before they even engage with you. We've done a lot on video content ourselves, but it is all pretty much based around the roofing, or it's maybe this podcast or whatever, but it's like I've probably not showcased much of like my actual like my personal life. Like I'm kind of off all social medias. I'm quite actually held back for all of that. Even like my wife will like put like stuff onto social media and like she'll just not tag me in it because she knows I doesn't like social media. I'm like, you can put me in photos with the kids and that if you want. It's not like I'm not allowed to be on there, but other than really LinkedIn, that's really the one I kind of use. But I think it's a good way to be. And certainly on that platform on LinkedIn, I've put kind of a lot more personal stuff on there, and I feel like it is really well received. And like what you've said, you've done quite a bit of business on TikTok. We've done the same on LinkedIn, but not even looking for it. Just being, this is who I am, this is what I do, sharing stuff. Hopefully it's helping people, and then people are just sitting there quietly watching and going, I need my roof done now, and probably going to trust that guy because he's just, they see all kind of angles there, really. So. I think it probably will give a lot of people a lot of inspiration, and that's good. What's the numbers now then? So
121,000 on TikTok, 11,400 Instagram, 2,772 YouTube, and what other platforms as well?
I think that's the main ones, isn't it? You've got a Facebook, is that?
But that's just like a personal. I just post kind of personal.
So Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. That's probably the main ones because it's mostly video that you're doing as well, and it's all reels and stuff. It's quite annoying that. So what one did you build first? The TikTok.
Yeah.
It's quite annoying that you can't just take the full TikTok following over to Instagram. Is it? Do you find that's a big variance of people? Like, have you got different people that follow you on Insta compared to TikTok?
I'd say majority of my Instagram's tradesmen. But I've got a lot of homeowners who watch it because they like to see the bathrooms, but also people like to see the food reviews and the football. It's like, as you say, it's a total mixed bag because the football ones, right, I've put up just about 4 or 5 of them and they get really well received, because it's for a mental health and overweight league. So folk are like, oh, how do I get into this? But I put one of the videos on Facebook, right, and it was basically a play it started back to front, and it basically just a really nice bit of play of football, and then I shot and the defender came out anywhere and put a tackle in, and it was amazing, right, and it ended up getting like 8-9 million views on Facebook.
That's insane.
Which is for something that I didn't really care about. But it was mainly on, I create for TikTok and I repurpose it for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, stuff like that.
And then, so now is that sort of where you're moving more into now? It's like you're probably wanting to concentrate more on that social media stuff, helping other guys. That's your new...
Aye, pretty much, aye.
What is your new venture like? Explain that to me a wee bit, how you can help these tradespeople. Basically,
started this up off the back of seeing guys that are how many posts I'm seeing now, guys are like, I'm so quiet, I'm struggling, and it's even for guys I recognise, some of them I've opened up and went, look, I'm struggling a wee bit.
Yep.
And I think a lot of it could be down to the fact is everybody is going online to find their tradesman, pretty much.
Yep.
But I was sick of the big outfits saying, oh, £120 a month, we'll give you job leads, but if nothing's coming in, what they do is they didn't care. You're tied into a contract. The guy's still struggling, he's no support, and I just wanted to offer something that can support guys.
Yep.
Right now, I'll be honest, we have had some leads through it,
yep.
but we aren't really big enough with tradesmen on it to give everybody leads or hey customers phoning.
Yep.
So we take 50% of everybody's payment, which is £20 a week. It's literally a cup of coffee a day, and put it back into marketing and advertising for the business and for these guys. But what I'm doing now is I'm helping manage all their social media and build a brand. So it gives them a lot of purpose and value. Like for £20 a week, I'm going to help you build your brand on social media, similar to what I've done. Granted, there is some people that struggle a wee bit with the video content, which is okay, it is what it is, and maybe we go, look mate, we are struggling here, how can I help you in another way? You needing business plans, are you needing your website looked at? So I'm genuinely actually trying to help guys. Just trying to get somebody to that sticking point where they are. I think that is it. Like I've done a couple of podcasts on other people's, and I've told the story a few times where like we ran out of work one time. Like I just thought I'd nailed everything on, and we'd had our biggest ever month in August, I think it was, and then it was like by like the October or something, we basically one Monday, I had like 16 guys at the time, but I was pretty much doing most of it all myself. So I was going out, looking at the jobs, pricing them, estimating them at night, quoting it. Had brought one of my guys off the tools. He was actually doing surveys as well and trying to look after the 16 guys. And it was just like, we had an office manager at the time as well. And it was just like, I didn't even know how it happened, but one Monday, like there was just no work. And see, looking back now, it's like, how did I not know that? But it was just, we're so busy just doing everything else. And just went, we've actually run out of work. It wasn't like we'd run out of work forever. There was stuff in the pipeline that would come later on, but it was just like, them 16 guys aren't they all going to jobs on Monday weekend? There was like one or two wee things here and there, but it was a scary time. And I think from that point, I already had quite a decent understanding of marketing and sales and stuff, but obviously just hadn't been looking at like the KPIs and where you need to keep things at to stay busy. And for that point, I was like, I can't no put video content out. I can't no like concentrate on marketing. So now we always try, and even when we're busy, we're marketing further, because that's the best time to do it. These trades guys or tradeswomen or tradespeople, whatever, who's trying to get in touch with you, if they're saying, oh, I'm quiet now, it's like, that's quite a rut to try and pull yourself out of. So it's getting them out that rut and then saying to them, keep it consistent so you can stay out of that. But no, it seems like a good idea. It's trying like, to do. The potential is incredible. Like imagine a tradesman, like physically try to help you and caring about how you actually perform. Like, I love the industry. I love helping guys and I love making a difference to people. But it's like, I post it on TikTok, mate, and it isn't really well received. Do you know what I mean? And folk that with no profiles and usually, oh, Ken, you're a scammer, you're like this. And I'm like, mate, I've just done 2 years worth of content helping guys, and all of a sudden I'm this. A scammer. And the problem is, it's just that, It's like... It's difficult, that. And I think as well, though, it's like, everybody's going to have, like, when you first went on TikTok, like you said, people laughed at you, but it's worked for you. Like, I know, I can like, get a year, maybe a wee bit longer. And that's the thing, it's a hard thing that you're trying to do. Like, it's going to be extremely difficult to compete with like these national companies that are doing it. Obviously their budgets are massive and things like that, but it's just like you said, having a wee bit of a kind of different approach on that, and having somebody to maybe for them even lean on, or just a network, is sometimes really good as well, because being a tradesperson's a lonely world. So, and a lot of the time our ego takes over, you don't want to ask anybody for help. So at least if they're maybe doing that with you, they can then go, I know you're kind of doing my social media, but by the way, I've kind of had this problem, or like, could you help me with this? It's like, it's probably like a bit of
you could make a bit of a community out of it, I think.
That's the plan.
And then you could get them people all together, and then they could all be helping each other, and that's probably got a lot of strength to it as well. No, it's good. And I seen tradesperson watching it, like what's some of the opportunities that you've maybe had from kind of blowing up the TikTok as such? I seen did you go to South Korea?
So Navian flew me out to South Korea. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like
was that quite surreal? Cause
it was, because some guy...
Thinking where he came from, for like the sort of, like when you're talking about your story earlier on there, and it was as if like, nobody was really quite giving you a chance or believing in you, to then that you must have been like, somebody's believing in me and flying me all the way over to South Korea.
It's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
And then, and a power tool company sent me just about £2,000 worth of power tools at my front door. I didn't know what I was getting. They just asked for my address.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a sponsored collaboration or I needed to do a video.
They just knew you would pull it out of the box.
They just sent it out, and I was like,
interesting.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it means they obviously believe in it all as well, because it's just eyeballs on their brand as well.
And then there's a couple other ones. So now I'm speaking to my mate, I'm quite pals with a guy called Alan Hart, who's got 100,000 YouTube. He's massive. Like he's like the top. He doesn't act like a top dog or that, but he is. Ken a lot of guys, like when guys meet me, they're like, oh my God, like, do you know what I mean? But it's the same with him.
Yeah.
And he's basically says to me, stop doing one-off videos and the sponsorships, 12-month sponsorships.
Yeah.
Or 1 year, 2 year, and make it on. And I've just taken one on yesterday. I had the phone call and it was £800 a month.
Yeah. There you go.
And I've got another one potentially at £500 a month. We just have to completely iron it. And he's like, a couple of them, you're laughing.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I take it then, does that tie you away for other things, like when you get these sort of deals, or is it just you can do that but you can still do all your other stuff?
I know, I can still do all my other stuff.
You just kind of like show their brand and go, like, that's Makita and that's the one.
I've always, like, for instance, right, mate, I'm very particular about who I work with.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to work with anybody.
Yeah.
And you see it all through the industry with guys that have got a wee following.
Yeah.
They're firing out loads of different videos on different people.
Yeah.
But I'm very, like, I turned down somebody offered me £1,000 for a video last week, right? But it was a bingo app. Now, I could easily went, hey, two fat ladies, hey, do you know what I mean? And promoted their bingo app. But I turned it down because that doesn't align with...
Should have just done it.
Nah, but then you start losing your credibility.
I know. I think the thing is though, it's like you put a lot of humour into your stuff and that as well. So like I wouldn't have said that's a million miles away from aligning with who you are, but it's no maybe the business goal or the sort of that direction. But it's good that it's a lot of opportunities, and especially I think so many tradespeople are now just caught like word of mouth will just serve me fine, and it just at a level.
Mate, this is
it only gets you so far.
This is what people are saying to me in my videos, and like I would never go in somebody's video and critique their weight, how they look, or I would never even say that. I would portray a bit of advice.
Yeah.
But some folk are just downright horrible, saying, "Oh, I hope this fails." Like, this is going to fail. This is never going to work. And I'm like, but for me, I feel like there's something mentally unwell with them because no good person or who's trying to do well in life or doing well would ever wish that on somebody else.
I just think it's one of these things. It's probably I think there's a quote of some sort in it, and it's like you'll never take criticism from somebody who's ahead of you. Like it'll always be somebody who's behind you, and it is quite true, because you think to yourself like, somebody who's got that'll not work. It's like if somebody was ahead of you, then they would maybe look and go, well, good luck with that. Good luck and like get your best go, because I've tried something and it worked, and you know, it's like, so that's probably all you need. But that it must affect you a wee bit.
Oh, fat and ginger all my life. Like, and I've been like, it's like I'm very fortunate that I'm very self-aware.
Yeah.
Like for the last maybe till I was 25, I was pretty fit. Like, I was always out running.
Yeah.
I took a bad injury and I just never recovered with my fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
Started going back to football, and then I was getting fit. I was going out running in Christmas. Went to bed Christmas night, and then I woke up on Boxing Day with an inguinal ligament pain.
Yeah.
That's what my physio says anyway. And I've just returned to football last week and played 45 minutes on Sunday for 6 months. And that had a big effect on me.
Yeah.
But what people think of me, so somebody else's opinion who'll never affect my life just goes right under the carpet.
You've got
Even
to be quite...
the only thing that did maybe bother me actually is because I decided the rebrand was my name personal, Fraser Hoehle, and I got the jumpers and I was like, oh wow, I love this. This is, it's no egotistical, right? It is just one of the things where that's my brand. It's like nobody's done this kind of thing. Nobody's really done this before. And I'm like, oh, so bad. And I put a video on TikTok and I got roasted. And I was just sitting there like, to my business partner, because I've got a business partner who's very business minded and he's amazing. And I said to him, I was like, what? I was like, I was actually gobsmacked that folk didn't like it, eh? But
was it 50-50 or did it just get destroyed, or was there some who were like, no, that's good? Or...
So TikTok, it got destroyed. Instagram and LinkedIn, and so, oh, that's amazing. And then see when I speak to people with like big business minds and that, they're sitting there like, again, like I don't know if you want to talk about what's going on in the future, but like I had a meeting on Friday there, which was like potentially like next level, like my own brand of like instantaneous hot water taps that could lead on to like tap, showers, brassware, toilets,
you could
baths.
be like the next George Foreman.
Mate, fucking wild, right?
Do you know like with the George Foreman? It's like nobody ever like would have thought that could have been a thing.
No.
That you've got like this grill that cooks all your stuff that is now, it's like, what is that even called?
The Foreman.
No, but like, what's the actual name of it? Like, do you know, like that thing's called like...
I just know it as a George Foreman.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So they'll be like, go to turn the tap on, but they're like, I'll just go and get a drink out the Fraser Hoehle.
That's it. But as the guy who owns the company, Ken, he goes, I'll do the Hoehle. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's like an absolute next level. And he goes, we'll start here, and this is where we could be. And he's like, Ken, brand it Hoehle? No Fraser Hoehle, but Hoehle.
See, the other thing is as well, so like I listened to something, I think it was maybe an event I was at, it might have been Grant Cardone that said it, and he was talking about, I think it was President Trump, and he basically just said like, he's big on putting yourself out there and just doing what you're doing and just going for it and no listening to the naysayers. But he basically said, like somebody like say President Trump, he doesn't need the full of America to like him. Like he just needs half of them or over half of them to like him and he's in. Do you know, so it's like, it's the same with everybody. It's like 100% of people aren't going to like what you're doing, but if half of them like it, then you can go and build the brand off that, and do you know, that can be your audience, whether they're buying these products or whatever it is. Like that you're catering to them, you're not worrying about the other half. And half the time when they're going on there and commenting and giving you hate or whatever, they're actually probably boosting your...
I know that.
You're actually boosting your profile, and anybody with a bit of common sense probably looks at it and thinks that's a bit petty, to be honest, if they see that hate. But I'm probably conflicted a wee bit with the name thing. Like, so what I done with my business was, and this is totally different, but my company used to be like Jamie Taylor Roofing, and I wanted to take it away from that to be like Taylor Roofs. I don't think there's any other roofing company probably in the UK, or that I know anyway, that's like Taylor Roofs, like roofs rather than roofing. So it was like a wee kind of twist. I was like, I'm going to make it roofs, so people go roofs. Like, it was just something a bit different. I wanted to make it a bit of a brand, which in its own right in the roofing industry, it's probably became a bit of a brand. Still working on it, but I never had a personal brand. So like, I get where you're coming from. It's like, you've got the personal brand, so it's like, why would you no grow that and then build something off of that? I think it makes a lot of sense. Back when I started up, like Facebook and that was just kicking off, but there was no TikTok, there was no Insta, you didn't have them kind of followings back then. It was like, your gran liked your stuff.
I know.
You post something, I've just started my new business, there's like 4 likes and that, you know. But so I think it makes sense for you to do what you're doing.
It does for me,
because the brand is you, the brand is your name. Whereas some businesses want to get away from that so that they can kind of, my thinking with that was to try and like pull back a bit, so it wasn't like every single person who was getting a roof done off us thought like, oh, Jamie Taylor's going to turn up and actually do the roof. And we went through like a kind of process of that, when it was like, I would maybe be like dealing with the customer, and then you sort of sell the roof to them or whatever, and then they're ready to go ahead, and then it's like, right, my roofers will be there next week, and they're like, oh, I thought you were doing it. And it's just like, nah. So like, we kind of built it away to kind of get away from that, so it wasn't just one person. But I think personal brand's totally different, so I agree with it. Anything else kind of coming up in the future other than taps and
We've got,
the tap line?
as I say, just we've got a lot of stuff. We're into property now.
Yeah.
I had just put something on Instagram because I was sitting there, like, as I says, I went, I just seen that quote about the 30 million thing.
Yeah.
I was like, there's got to be more to my life than just being a plumber.
Yeah.
And so I basically was like, look, I actually ended up having a quiet week. It wasn't a quiet week, but a couple of things had went wrong where my jobs were kind of just all over the place.
Yeah.
So I basically had, when I analysed the full month, I had literally about 10 days no working.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I could utilise that, and I still made just about the same money.
Mm-hmm.
I could maybe utilise the 10 days and trying to dabble my fingers into something else.
Yeah.
And then I put a post up and it was something like, I can't even remember what it was daft. And then I had 7 people offer me thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds to do property.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. One guy was like, how much do you need? 100 grand, 200 grand? And then I was speaking to my business partner and he was like, it just goes to show the trust that you've built with people.
Yeah.
So now we're into a bit of property. We've got one in Paisley. We've got a couple we put a bid in on. And then I had a meeting Monday night, and then there was off the back of that, it goes, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. Although I'm investing in you, you've got a couple of other multi-millionaires looking at you right now that are wanting to see how this first gen goes.
Yeah, that's good.
That could open up the doors.
So that gives you encouragement to keep doing what you're doing.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, keep posting, keep showcasing what you're doing and keep moving forward. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Just Fraser Hoehle, any Google,
TikTok,
YouTube. It's all Fraser Hoehle. Just keep the one brand.
Perfect. Appreciate you coming on, mate. That was brilliant. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good man.
Thank you.